Coming to you from the Prophecy Watchers Conference in Norman, Oklahoma, I'm your intrepid host, L.A. Marzulli. We've been interviewing people during the weekend. They have stories, and you've heard some of them. Jay joins us. He has a story he'll be sharing with us in just a moment. But first, a word from our very trusted sponsor. Gold has gone mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere, and prices keep climbing. Every day, more and more Americans are catching on to the power of gold. But how do you actually take advantage of it? How do you invest in a way that's safe, simple, and built for the long run? That's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. Noble Gold specialists are trained to help investors like you go from confused to confident, from wondering what's next to knowing exactly what to do. Whether you're looking to roll over an old 401k into a gold IRA, or you want physical coins and bars delivered right to your home, Noble Gold makes the process simple, safe, and stress-free. You'll get step-by-step guidance, transparent pricing, and U.S.-based service from a team that's handled over $2.5 billion in precious metal transactions. With Noble Gold Investments, protecting and growing your wealth isn't just their job, it's their commitment. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today to claim your free wealth protection kit. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Noble Gold, helping you build a stronger future. Folks, Peggy and I invested in it several years ago. It has gone through the roof, and I don't think it's going to stop yet. Remember, folks, there's always a risk with any type of financial investment. Take a look at what Noble Gold has to offer. Peggy and I did it several years ago. I'm really glad we did. It's hovering right around 4,000. Who knows where this thing is going to go? So, noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Jay, thanks so much for joining us here. Really appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
So tell us what you, what's going on, what you experienced.
Well, so I'm an airline pilot, and as I talked to you before in Branson about, and you can see a lot on YouTube, that at nighttime there's these strange lights we see circling, and they do random movements. Then the lights are, one in particular is very bright, and it's like they have satellite lights orbiting around them, and then they dim and go away for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then they'll come back, and you see them, and it reminds me of the old World War I dog fighting.
There you go.
If you see the planes. And I remember one night in particular, we were flying from Florida to Minnesota, and I was right over the Kentucky-Illinois border, and of course you see the lights. And on our primary radio we listen to, we also have a backup emergency radio that we monitor. And of course you start hearing other airline pilots talk about, hey, you see the light?
That right?
Yeah, the lights are out there again, right? And somebody came on and said, anybody know where they're at? And I came on and said, and I never talk on the emergency radio, but I said, it appears to me they're over Iowa, and some more pilots came on and they said, we're in Nebraska and they're way further west than us. So I'm seeing these lights from hundreds of miles away, and it's not satellites. It's not any kind of reflection of the sun. They're very random, but they appear to be deliberate in their movement, and and then they'll fade away, and then they come back. And one time in particular, which completely eliminates any thought that it's any kind of satellite with reflecting sun from around the dark, on the part of the planet where the sun is visible, is my FO and I witnessed one go from, it's hard to tell how high they are. I'm guessing 80, 100,000 feet, go from that altitude, and it just went straight down in like 3 or 4 seconds to what appeared to be anywhere. It's hard to tell altitude at 35,000 feet, but anywhere between 1 to 5,000 feet, make a hard 90-degree turn, and then just go floating straight out over the ground. And of course, my FO was like, wow.
Yeah, let me stop you right there. This is exactly what Commander David Favor saw. Very similar.
Yes.
This tic-tac shaped object below him. And I know you know the story, and it shoots away from him, and reaches 50 miles in 2 seconds and 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, just like that. The G-forces would kill someone unless, and this is conjecture on my part, so here's the crap. It's bending space and time.
Right.
It's the only way you can do that, in my opinion. And I got that from Bob Lazar. So, I mean, you saw that. That's what did you do? What did you see? Was it just light? Was it a metallic craft? What was it?
I can't tell if it was metallic, composite, otherworldly. I have no doubt it's an otherworldly vehicle. Nothing on our planet it can do anything like that,
Right.
and have anybody inside it survive.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it was some type of highly advanced military, why would they have lights so bright you could see it 10 states away? You know, it doesn't make any sense. So my first officer in particular had never seen anything or talked anything. He'd never been exposed to prophecy watchers and the real burgeoning and not going away. And so I really wasn't shocked by it, but he was like, "Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that?" And I got him your book, by the way, UFOs.
There you go.
Yeah, so yeah, I did see that. And then, the Branson conference was about a year ago, and since then I've only seen them like 2 or 3 times, but I did see them, I would say 3 weeks ago, flying at night. Only see them at night. And this time I was watching them, and I told my first officer, I'm like, "You see the light that's really getting really bright and then going away, and then there's like one that's circling it." And then he's like, "Yeah, I see it," but he didn't seem too interested. And so I just kept an eye on the area.
Right.
And this is the first time I've seen this. And then it got real bright, and like that, it shot out with like a green streak.
Whoa.
I remember thinking that vehicle just left our dimension, where I don't know. I couldn't even begin to speculate how fast it was going, but it was obviously faster than any bullet or anything like that. I'd never seen anything streak across the sky that fast, even a falling star, and
Wow.
it was gone. So, yeah, I'd gotten to the point where we see them so often that you just expected. Then, like the last year, I really haven't seen them. I really quit looking, and then I saw them again just recently.
So are they what you just said, but are the sightings increasing or decreasing or remaining the same, or is it kind of all over the map?
For me personally, they kind of the last year, and it may be because really most flying's done during the day.
Sure.
Our 9 hours, I think I have less than 10% of my total flying time is nighttime, but sometimes we do get the opportunity to fly at night, and I would say that it is not unusual to expect to see them, because if you fly enough at night, you're going to see them for sure. And you can go on YouTube and pull up, you can just type in pilots see strange lights, and all kinds of videos will show up, and they're talking about the exact same thing I'm talking about right now.
Let me ask you something. What is the status of the airlines when people start reporting this? Because you go back 40 years ago and everybody mum's the word, don't say anything, you never reported it. Have things loosened up because of the congressional hearings? What's going on with that?
I would say I would say the overall pilot feel is when you say you saw something that is unidentified, unexplained.
Right.
No one is surprised. No one's shocked. Yeah, we saw, they'll usually come back. Yeah, I saw some stuff.
So it feels kind of loosened up a little?
I would say that they're very loose. Yeah, it's expected. It's not, no one is shocked to hear a story like that any longer.
You go 50 years ago, you could be fired.
Absolutely.
From your job.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I would say that these reports really don't get passed on to an official level anymore. I know I personally haven't.
Wow.
I wouldn't really even know if they would even want to hear anything like that, but
what's the closest one, mile wise? Like 10 miles away, 5 miles away, a mile away?
It's hard.
100 yards.
It's hard to say. Sometimes they appear that they would be, so let's say, you're flying over Memphis, you can easily see Little Rock at night,
Okay.
Some would appear sometimes be that close, but then when you hear the other pilots talk about it, they're even further away. So it's very hard to tell. I would say that I've never been within 50 miles of one, I wouldn't guess, but it depends on how large the craft is, how large the light is. And I've never had one zoom by my windshield.
That's a really nice question. Okay.
Yeah.
That does happen.
Yep.
They do zoom by the windshield.
Yes, sir.
Which is crazy. Thanks so much for coming on the record.
Sure thing.
Appreciate it. Folks, UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away. Here's a, credible witness, trained pilot. And it's heating up. Something is going on. So we have 10 films on UFOs, everything from close encounters of the first, second, third, and fourth kind, counter mutilations, the abduction phenomena, 2 films on Roswell, crop circles. I mean, we covered it all in the 10-box DVD set. I want to thank my business partner, Gil Zimmerman. Without him, that wouldn't be here. So there's 10 films, and you can access them by going to streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for coming on the record.
You're welcome.
And remember, folks, UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away.